up guys, got another video for you. Today I'm going to show you how you can flush the power steering fluid on your car. I'm going to be doing this on this 2001 Audi A4, but the procedure should be very similar for any car with power steering, okay? Okay, now as far as how often you need to do a power steering fluid flush, well, that's going to vary based on your make and model, but it's generally anywhere from 30 to 60, 70,000 miles. But you definitely need to do a flush whenever you replace your rack and pinion or your power steering pressure hose, okay? Also, just a heads up for people out there that are either replacing their rack and pinion or they've already replaced it and are looking at this video and see how they need to flush their power steering fluid. Well, whenever you replace your rack and pinion, you definitely want to replace your power steering pressure hose, because oftentimes the cause of your rack and pinion failing is your power steering pressure hose. Oftentimes the lining that's inside the hose deteriorates and the contaminants get inside your rack and pinion and ruin all the seals and whatnot, and that's how you end up having a failed rack and pinion, okay? Okay, so first thing you want to do is to raise and support the front of your vehicle on jack stands. Alright, what you want to do next is to get a torque baster and then siphon out as much of the old fluid as you can, but if you don't have one, you don't really care about your engine bay getting a little messy, don't worry, you can just go on to the next step. Alright, and if your fluid looks like this, it's definitely time to replace your fluid, because the fluid on these cars use mineral hydraulic fluids, and that fluid looks pretty much clear. And as you can see, this is quite the opposite of clear, and it's definitely past due for a flush, okay? Okay, what you need to do next is to find your power steering fluid return line. That's the line that comes back from the rack and pinion to your reservoir. Now, in our case, we're going to have to remove this plastic cover. And on your car, it might be easy to gain access to it, or you might have to, move the reservoir around or remove a cover like we're going to have to do here, okay? There we go. Okay, now after you gain access to the two hoses that go to the reservoir, you want to figure out which one is the return hose and disconnect that one. Now, sometimes it's difficult to figure out, but generally speaking, you can easily figure out which one comes from your pump, especially in our case, as you can see, this bigger one comes from our power steering pump down there. There's our power steering pump. So if that's the supply line to the power steering pump, the other one has to be the return line. So we're going to go ahead and remove that next. Okay, well, before we disconnect that hose, we're going to get our catch pan underneath. You want to do that especially if you didn't have a turkey baster and you weren't able to siphon out all the fluid, because all the fluid in that reservoir is going to come rushing out from right there. Okay, next we get our needle nose pliers and remove the clamp that's holding this hose in. And then we'll remove the hose. Just keep in mind power steering fluid is going to come out, so make sure you point that hose down where your catch pan is, okay? There we go. Alright, next it's time to fill up our power steering fluid reservoir with power steering fluid. It's very important that you use the correct power steering fluid. Just look for markings and writings on the reservoir itself or the cap to see what kind of fluid you'll need to use. In our case, it's going to be this lovely mineral hydraulic fluid, which is about $23 per liter, but most cars it costs about $6, $7 per quart for power steering fluid, okay? Yeah, it's actually kind of greenish. Alright, after we fill up power steering fluid, it's time to get in the car and start turning the steering wheel all the way to the right and then back all the way to the left. And we're going to do that every couple of times, keeping an eye on this fluid level, making sure this doesn't go empty, because then you would suck in air. And what that does is basically you're just using the rack and pinion to suck the new fluid through the system and then back out through the return line. And once you start seeing clean new fluid come out of this hose, which is the return line, that's when you know you've completely flushed the system and the system is filled with brand new fluid. Okay? Okay, also if you got one of these funnels handy, you can just put it underneath this hose. That way you can direct the fluid onto your catch pan. Alright? Again, make sure you top off the fluid after every couple turns, okay? Okay, so as you saw, we just got a green fluid coming out of this return line. That means all the old fluid has been cycled through, and it's hopefully resting in our catch pan underneath there. So what we're going to do next is to basically just put this return hose back on here, okay? Okay, so you get your clamp back on the hose before you put it on, and then this is going to be a little tricky because you probably have still fluid in there. So you're going to do this you're going to have to move fast, okay? If you don't want to lose all the fluid. Especially if it's $23 per liter. Alright, I got that hose off. Now I'm just blocking it with my finger right now. Yeah, it still leaked a little bit, but what do you gotta do? Okay, next we'll tighten down our new clamp. And then again, top off the fluid. Okay, and once more we get inside the car and do the steering wheel action, and that should get rid of all the air that was that's going to be in your return hose. Okay. Alright, now that's all there is to it, but just to be on the safe side, just keep on turning the steering wheel back and forth a bunch more times so you get all the rest of the air out as well. And then you just start the car, do the same thing, lower the car, do the same thing, and you'll eventually get all of it out. Okay, so yeah, I hope this video helps people out there. If you like the video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you want to see more like it, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching.